Welcome to session 5 of the movement class. This is going to be a review session, but there's a lot of new people this time, so it might be a little awkward. So I'm going to rely on Steph for some heavy lifting, hopefully. Hopefully he's learned some stuff through this class, and he'll be able to answer some of my questions. See if he actually learned some stuff. So we'll begin. What'd you not learn? No worries. So we'll begin with something simple. I want to see, can you explain what zip dashing is? That's pretty that's pretty good. That's pretty good. The only thing that I'd like to mention is that there is a 2-second window as opposed to needing to immediately hop off. So you can wait for about a second and it's like 1.4 seconds because the dash takes about 0.6 seconds to where you actually don't feel that drag window. But that was pretty good. That was very good. The specifics on why that it works, and I guess since there's so many new people, I'll swing over to it real quick. So you can see he caught most of that here. You get an air drag penalty whenever you hop off a zip line without using control. So if you press spacebar and then dash afterwards, you see how slow I go. I only go to about like 700 velocity, and then I pretty quickly lose about 20% of it. And then I start to gain a little bit more because I'm falling, right? So those who don't know, look at this velocity number up here. That's what your speed looks like. I also have a speedometer in the middle of my screen for the sake of ease of visibility. But if I were to do the same tech, you can see I don't go nearly as fast, right? The peak velocity is because I'm actually hopping on the zip line. But I only ever go about 700, maybe 800 velocity before I start to fall. But if I were to press control before I hop off the zip line, you may notice that I go much faster. I actually gain speed the entire way, until I hit the ground, right? So feel free to give that some tries. Those who are new, actually don't know how good any of you guys are at movement, so I'm going to be probably approaching this a little bit more simply than I was hoping. That's all good. Anybody have any questions about zip dashing yet? Oh, to join, you see the connect at the beginning of the chat, uh, right here. I will. Oh, it just went away. Right here. This right here, you press F7 and then paste that into your console. And it will automatically join. Does anybody here not understand how zip dashing is working? Any questions? I'm going to pop quiz somebody here. Notice, where are you at? Where's this vinegar at? Here, buddy. Let's see. Can you do a zip dash? I want to see you do it. Ooh, there you go. Doing pretty good. Yeah, and that's okay. You'll get used to it. It's it's because you need to angle your camera dependent to how quickly. So it's a lot of technical stuff, but yeah, you have to angle your camera. It's a bit steep. Like you have to angle your camera steeper when you are going faster. And this is like this works for IEDs as well. You can also look diagonally on IEDs and you go similarly fast. But when you're walking, you're a lot slower than you are when you're going on a zip line. So when you're on a zip line, you just have to look steeper into your dash. Yeah, close. So whenever you hop off the zip line with control, right? And then I like to press W and D and look into it, right? Or look away from the angle, just a little bit. But you can also use your directional keys, but you have to angle sharper, right? With just D or A. So I like W. Exactly. Someone was listening. That makes sense for you. Double scoop. Cool, cool. Let's see if you can do it. Where are you at? Where's this Mirage? There he is. Push control off the zip line, look diagonally. Okay, make sure you dash off this, or make sure you hold control when you hop off the zip, or I guess tap it. You don't actually have to hold it. And then look diagonally, and then you can either look a little bit to your left and then press like WD to go into it, or you can look farther away and press like just D and into the angle, right? Whatever feels comfortable to you. I like pressing WD just because it allows me to look more forward than I would normally. Right? The other way you kind of have to like move your camera around a lot more. Pretty good. Are you dashing off the zip immediately, or are you? Yeah, press Control first. Once you drop, then yeah, there you go. See how much faster you go. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, it looks like everybody is zip dashing just about right. Um, that's cool to see. We'll move on to the next thing since we kind of understand how zip dashing works, right? You hold A or D or your WAWD, press crouch, then dash before the 1.4 second window. And just make sure you're looking into the angle, right? And mind you, all this full Excel draw will be posted for your leisure. It has been built upon per class, so I'll probably end up making a new one after this one because this is like the first little unit, essentially like the basics of movement. And I think probably next session will end up looking to be like corner boost and edge boost and all that stuff. But I just wanted to build a good foundation for everybody so that we can actually use those techs for what we need to, right? Because it doesn't matter if you can edge boost or wall jump efficiently or know what you're supposed to do if you can't throw together all the tech together, right? You gotta learn how to add before you can start multiplying. So, um, so good job on the zip dashing. Staff definitely paid attention to the classes. Now I know that you said you had some issues with slide hopping, so let's go over that and see what you have. Let's see what you know so far, and then we'll correct as needed. hmm Gotcha. Well, let's see what you can do so far. I want to see, can you hit a dash jump into that quick slide into two more slides. I want to see. All good. Yeah. So it's kind of a B hop, right? Kind of a B hop. So yeah, there you go. So this was a little tough. This will definitely take some practice, so don't feel bad if you can't do it right away. And this is just from a standstill. It's a little easier when you're going down slopes and stuff. There's a lot of specifics to it, but I won't go over them because I already did in my I think session 2, session 3. So feel free to pay attention to that first, or I guess after this class if you're curious. But mechanically, we'll go over it just to explain quickly how it happens and how you can do it. When you are slide hopping, obviously there's a lot of words comparatively to zip dashing, but it's a little bit more difficult. Your slide hops essentially is just you slide and then you jump, right? That's all it mechanically is that you dash and then you slide and then you jump out of it, right? Because if you were to just dash and then slide, you may notice if you pay attention to my velocity, you may see how quickly it goes from like 600 all the way down, and it goes way below 350, and that's bad, right? Because my base walk speed is 380, right? So if I'm ever slower than 380, there's very few reasons why I'd want to keep sliding, right? So how do I maintain this velocity without losing it all really quickly? That's where slide hops come into play. So if you were to dash, slide, and then you jump out of it, you actually go a little further and you maintain momentum. Now, b-hopping is not super useful in deadlock, but it does have its niche cases. B-hopping can kind of be used here, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. But when it comes to slide hops, mechanically, you're looking to gain what has been referred to as a flag by Leaf Deadlock, the best movement player to ever do it. He refers to it as a, let's see, I believe it's called a slide drag flag, right? So we'll go over this principle. Anytime you jump out of a slide, a flag is set for slide drag to be applied to your slides, right? So that slide drag gets applied very quickly, right? This flag will remain on you until you are on the ground doing something other than sliding. So if you're like walking instead, right? See, I'm still losing velocity, but it's not nearly as fast. You can kind of see, like, maintain velocity and then very quickly start to lose it all, right? So you got to keep in mind about this flag. When it comes to slide hops, or when it comes to slide hopping out of a dash, right? You want to hit this first little slide, which is essentially you just hold control and then you jump immediately out of the slide, like pretty quickly. And then you just jump again and then you jump again. So the window you're looking for is between half a second and 0.7 seconds, or really 0.75 seconds, right? So optimally, you hit like that 0.7 seconds every single time if you can. But obviously, it's not the easiest thing in the world. No worries. Mind you, it's a very big timing thing. If you can't get another slide, you're typically jumping too early. It's a little longer than you think it's supposed to be. So the quick jump is like almost a B hop, and the next ones are like, you got to give yourself half a second, right? So it feels a lot longer than it actually is, but it's actually not so bad. And if you're too quickly trying to jump out of it, you'll see like I also don't get it. There's a sweet spot. So like, let's see if I do it too quickly. See, I lose all my speed very, very, very quick. If I try and do it too long, like let's say I hit the first thing and then I wait too long and then I jump, I don't get the third jump, or I don't get the third slide, right? So if I were to dash jump, hit it correctly, and then do it like that, you see, there's a like half second window you got to aim for, and then you get it, right? Yeah, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. He actually is playing Quick Live. That's crazy. It is kind of relevant. It is pretty relevant. No worries. Again, this is we went over the class a couple sessions ago. So if you are still struggling with this, then you can always refer back to it. That class, it went over the specifics of it. But essentially, you're just looking for this little graph right here. You gain the flag, land with more than 350 units per second, or because that's how long, or that's how fast you need to be going to actually get a slide, right? So land with more speed than you need to get a slide. Slide for more than 0.5 seconds. Jump before 0.75 seconds. And then you land again, and you just do this over and over again, right? It's a thing you just do over and over. And if you can manage to make it down a slope, it resets, right? That flow chart resets. Yep. So also you're gonna get some lag here. I am clearing a bunch of entities before it becomes. You no, you can go straight line, yeah. Go away. I can't get rid of these things. I try the easy way to get rid of these entities because they're just gonna lag the fuck out of the server. Anyways, if we were to be over here, in the Hidden King side, you can actually slide hop, use no stamina, and slide hop all the way to their secret shop. Now, obviously, oh, okay, well, I hit the wall. Obviously, it's easier if you know how to strafe, but we won't worry about that right now. Strafing is difficult and wibbly wobbly and not easy to explain and a pain in the ass. And this is actually just a. Or is the patron here or the old? There we go. Okay, sorry, the hitbox from the Guardians are still there. Yeah. Explain how strafing works. Tell me what WAWD strafing is. Tell me how to half sideways strafe. Um, yeah. Tell me all that. Tell me all that right now. No, the strafing stuff is super hard, not easy. I will break out the momentum mod for it, and it will probably happen within the next couple sessions here. But it is a entirely different situation to learn. Um, but the main point that we're trying to learn here, obviously with the slide hopping, is that we just are looking to maintain our velocity as best we can with the velocity that we have, right? So you want to be being able to slide hop allows you to like go down a ramp and then you can like jump on another one and then go down another ramp and then keep going and then you can dash and then you can jump and then you can slide more, right? It's all just about maintaining momentum as long as physically possible, right? You can go very, very far with just sliding around and hitting those slide hops to where you need to go. Obviously, also very, very useful out of IEDs as well, but we'll talk about IEDs in a second. So, um, don't worry about being super, super optimal, but just aim for that half-second window. Jump after the half-second happens, and you'll maintain most of your speed. Does that make sense to everybody? Are we tracking or are we lagging? What's happening? Oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh yeah, you may have crashed from me trying to clear those entities. Uh, can't remember. Somebody had a similar issue and they managed to fix it. I don't remember how you can join again. I'll be honest. Oh wait, if you join back in, just change the team. You're not gonna be able to do anything. Just change your team and then come back to the other team. Um, there's a command to change teams. I don't remember what it is. Someone can probably help with that while I go to the next topic. What is it? Okay, so next topic here. Since we kind of understand how slide hops work, we'll move to the next thing. IADs. So, Steph, I'm sure you can probably. I think you were there for the IAD class as well. Um, so let's see what you could explain here. True. You're a natural, Steph. You're a natural. Yeah, the the default binds are LARP, not real, fake. Even I can't really like perfectly do it. Yeah, we'll get there in a second. Um, yeah, yeah, yep, I can handle it now. So, good on you, Steph, for remembering how to IED. Very cool and awesome. You are the best student so far because no other students are here and everybody here is new. I didn't expect so many new people. True, true. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. That's the whole point of it, right? It's just to enable people. But the bind for IADs, this is what my bind looks like. Ignore how freaky deaky my binds are. Where are we at? I went too far. Here it is. Yeah, sure. So this is the way I really prefer it because I can mechanically press it. So if you pay attention here, my jump slash mantle bind is just spacebar like normal. My dash is shift or B, right? Shift or B. The reason why that is so that I can press spacebar and B at the same time. So I press spacebar with the bottom of my thumb and I press B with the top of my thumb. I still press shift normally as if if I need to like jump off a wall and then dash or whatever in the air, so I can still normally dash, right? But dash is also bound to B so that I can press spacebar and B at the same time, and I hit an IED pretty much like 99% of the time. It's pretty consistent. Yep, you will dump if you jump in the air and you try IED, it will eat both of your stand bars. So don't do that. Very bad. Yep. 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 So that's why I like having it mechanically bound, so I don't accidentally press whatever the key it would be. I already have too many binds. Yeah, yeah. So I prefer the mechanical way. If you guys feel it out, it doesn't have to be B. It can be literally any key that's above spacebar that's comfortable for you. So it could be C, V, B, N, M, X, whatever, right? Whatever's comfortable for you to press. Um, yeah, feel free. I'll bring your screen up. Yeah, it's definitely a quirk. Very good. Yeah, I mean that tracks. That's pretty much it. Again, I prefer the mechanical way. Um, but either way is valid. Yeah. I like mechanical way just because yeah, for me it just makes sense. But whatever makes more sense to you, then do it like that. Yeah. But again, this is all for personal preference. Um, and again, a lot of the movement stuff in general is all personal preference stuff that makes sense to you. Movement is a very, very personal thing. So you should treat it like that and do things that make sense to you always. Obviously, you don't do it right because you're like, oh, I can't do it because it doesn't feel comfortable. That's a little bit different. But when it comes to binds and how and what have you, that's entirely personal. Any questions? Okay. Um, let's see. Someone have a question? No? Okay. Um, so when you're hitting IEDs, the best way to tell that you're actually hitting the IED correctly is the CO show pause command, right? So everybody should have put in that command so that you can see your position here. You can see this like 512.06. That is my height. If I jump, it goes up and down. Nothing else moves, right? The way that you know that you actually hit an IED correctly is that you don't deviate more than a unit from your initial position, right? So a perfect IED is always less than a unit. Anything less than that, you will still incur that 20% speed penalty. Mind you, IEDs are more useful the faster your dash is. So bucket 3 heroes definitely struggle from using IEDs more than a bucket 1 would. But I will still IED on Abrams for different reasons, right? It's very good to like dash around and stay hard to hit, right? And yeah, that's a good question too. Okay, so I'll bring this up too since we're all here. This is from the Instant Air Dash class. I had a lot of stuff written about it, but the most important thing here is this bucket. So this bucket separation. So depending on the hero that you're playing, your dash will be faster, right? So Calico, Celeste, Talon, whatever, they're in bucket 1. My Holiday, my ever so lovely Holiday is also bucket 1, right? So that means that my dash, whenever I dash, is 635, right? You see this grounded dash is always 635. Now, I make the same distance as I would as any other bucket hero, but I make the same distance quicker because my velocity is faster, which means that a lot of my IEDs and stuff are more useful. My air dashes are more useful because I'm in bucket 1, because my dashes are faster, right? And since my and since a air dash is an impulse rather than the grounded dash just being a set your velocity to a speed, the impulse adds on top of your current velocity. That's what makes zip dashing so good on bucket 1 heroes, because you just go flying, right? So if I were to do the same stuff on Abrams, you may notice that I go much slower, but I still go the same distance, right? So if I IED, I go like 588, whatever, roughly. Obviously, I'm getting addition from my current velocity, but if I just IED correctly, here it's like 590, whatever. If I grounded dash, it's 560, right? So every bucket hero will dash exactly the same speed as their rest of their bucket. So it's almost always going to be right about here. Bucket 1 heroes are 635 units per second, which you saw with Holiday. The total dash time is 0.62 seconds, right? Which correlates with our zip dashing window, where if you dash at least a second, point like 1.4 seconds into the zip dash, you will still get a proper zip dash, right? But you can see on these different buckets, your zip dash window gets a little bit smaller, all the way up to 0.1 seconds smaller, right? Or I guess technically 0.8 second or 0.08 seconds smaller. The bucket 1 heroes 635 units per second. The bucket 2 heroes are your 579 units per second, and then your bucket 3 heroes are 562. So if we go back to the game and I dash, whoa, look at that. I'm going exactly 562 units per second when I dash, right? If we look at our velocity up here, it's exactly the same. Now my speedometer down here is just an estimation. It's mostly just useful for in-game stuff because you can't have CL show pause pulled up in a regular match. I like to have this just for knowing it, roughly how quick I'm going for certain different things like strafing and stuff. So just grounded dashes will give you that much velocity, right? So that also means that your air dashes are going to feel slower, right? When I IED, because an IED is just a regular air dash on the ground that's close enough to slide out of it, so you don't get penalized with the penalty, you're noticing that I'm going much slower, right? But it doesn't mean that I still can't do crazy tech on him, right? So I can still zip dash and then go down here and have a bunch of speed and keep going, right? Then wall jump off this if I'm not a fat chud, and then, you know, keep going, right? Hit corner boost, hit whatever, jump around. Doesn't matter, right? It's just, you have to, if you're playing a different bucket hero, you're just gonna have to get used to the differences and what it feels like, right? But everything else, like all the regular tech is still applicable to every hero. It's just that bucket 1 heroes feel better because they go faster. Anybody have any questions on that? Makes sense, makes sense. Okay. True. For reference, this is your bucket. So whatever hero you're playing, this is what your bucket looks like. So Venator is super slow. Calico's super quick, right? Mirage is in the middle, Lash is in the middle. You get the idea. And very importantly here, whenever you were to buy Stamina Mastery, IADs become way better, like incredibly better. Because wouldn't you know it, going faster when you dash makes you go faster when you IAD, right? Because my grounded dash is still 635, and my air dashes go to like 700 something, right? Almost 100 units faster. So if I IAD with Stamina Mastery, I go way faster, right? Super quick. So this is why I never jump dash or dash jump, because it's not faster for me anyways. If I IAD into slide hopping, I get so much more speed than I would with just a regular dash jump, right? But that's why I never do it. If you don't pick up Stamina Mastery very often, then obviously dash jumps are more useful for you, and it become a bit more like case dependent, whether or not you want to hit slide hops immediately out of a dash with just your with just 1 stamina, or if you're like fine with blowing 2 stamina, right? The big thing here is understanding and optimizing your movement. Do you have any questions on that? Cool. All right. So for the most part, we've covered what has gone over in the last classes. I picked these 3 very specifically because they are like the cornerstones to getting good movement. If you don't know how to do these things, you just will not be able to have good movement, and at least in my opinion. And even Leaf has said like how important zip dashing and slide hops are. So IADs maybe a bit more debatably, but again, all these things are super important because zip dashing tie into slide hopping, and slide hopping ties into instant air dashing. It's all like foundational baseline stuff in my opinion. So see, now we have these things together with Steph's help, because he's a gold star student. We can start talking about rotations. So the most recent, yeah, go for it. A matchmaking update. Matchmaking update next week. Trust. Yeah. So for reference, now I don't think that the stuff that we're practicing right now will ever really change. It's pretty uh foundational, right? And like even edge boosts and corner boosts were already changed, right? So like corner boosts used to give you like mega height, like a bunch more height than you used to be able to get, right? So corner boosts and edge boosts have been in the game for a while now. So I also wouldn't be worried about those going away anytime soon, but they always can change. Everything is subject to change, but getting with the times is always important, especially in a game like this, right? If you're not moving around efficiently and you are never at a good stamina bar like usage, or you never have stamina when you show up to a fight, or you always have stamina when you show up to a fight. Like, two very big different things, right? So if you're looking to rotate one place to the other, and you have like only 2 stamina bars, like what's the best way to get from one place to the other? It's probably going to be a mixture of zip dashing, IADs, and slide hops, right? And then just maintaining momentum with wall jumps and stuff, right? So that's why we practice these things. Yeah, heavy melee cancel used to be really, really good, and now it's not so great. Yeah, well, there's also it's actually in the code referred to as a corner boost as well. Whenever there's that one command that like shows your capsule. I'll have to bring it up for whenever we go over corner boosts, but it actually like tells you when you're against a wall if your like corner boost is like possible or not. It like has a window and tells you when you can corner boost. So it is manually added by Yoshi, our savior, into the game. So yeah, yeah. I mean, if they get rid of the slowdown, I mean, the thing is that there is no slowdown for air dashes, right? That's why we IAD. Um, and like grounded dashes entirely are different, right? Um, yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I don't think I've ever like grounded dashed on purpose. um, in like a long time. Maybe I do in like certain situations. I mean, I guess like for slide hops, yes. So you can set up for edge boost, but like that's the only time. Like all the other stuff is super, super important. All right. Let's see. So now that we have these things together, we have about 15 minutes left. We'll go over rotations. We'll actually put these concepts together, and we'll use them for good and not evil, or maybe a little bit of evil. That's also fine. I'm going to remove units again, so don't be worried if the world explodes. Hello, dear. I won't start over because it's recorded, but you have 15 minutes to fuck around and jump around with us. The connect is in the chat, as always. All right. So when it comes to rotations, essentially rotations as a whole will always be changing, right, with the times, because however good you are as a movement player will dictate however good your rotations will be, right? So movement as a whole is a big reason why we're or I guess rotations as a whole, or why we are learning movement, right? Like movement is only so good, and like combat and stuff, yes, it's super useful. I can hit edge boost and corner boost and whatever and stay super hard to hit. Very good to have, especially on any hero. But the most important thing is actually using your movement for rotations, right? So if we were to go to yellow lane, we can practice a little rotation. Those of you who got disconnected because I cleared entities, feel free to rejoin. It might just be a little fucky. At some point in time, I'll be able to host a server correctly for this stuff, but for now, this works. But obviously, if I can, I think the movement Discord might actually be working on a similar thing where you can actually practice movement in a place like this. So hopefully that is something we can do. Be a lot easier than this, but everybody's here for the most part. We'll go for we'll go for this rotation. So when it comes to rotations, it's just using what you know to the best that you can, right? So I base my rotations on 3 different things, right? The ability to repeat your rotation, how relevant your rotation is, and the efficiency of that rotation, right? So if it's not fast, or I guess we'll start from this side, your repeatability is like probably the most important thing out of all of this, is that, you know, if you learn a route Like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this right now because my frame rate is dying. But like, I have this route that I made where I like go up here and then slide off this, hit an edge boost, whatever, and then hit a corner boost, and then I go like all the way up to buff, right? But it's never like viable in an actual game unless I practice it a bunch, right? Because it's just it requires too many things um, for it to be viable. So you want to practice a range of different rotations that are relatively easy to your skill level, so that you can replicate these in a regular game, and then you practice on your own time and explore MIC to like get better at the new rotations you can unlock, right? Okay. So repeatability, huge factor for all your rotation needs, right? So if you can't do the rotation in the game, I mean, you can go for it, but it may not be more efficient than just whatever else you would do normally, right? Next part is relevancy. Obviously, if it's not relevant to the rotation, like if you need to go from yellow to green, but the only rotation you know how to do, or I guess yellow to like mid blue, like up here, the only rotation you know how to do is to go like right here, right? What we're gonna learn, then like why would I do that, right? Like it's not efficient. If I knew the other way to go around, I'd just go up here, take the zip line up here, and then I take the air pad, air whatever, air vent, and then I go up here, and then I come down this way, right? If I wanted to go in an efficient way to get to mid, right? But if I only know how to do this, then why would I use this to get here, right? So if it's not relevant, then you don't want to you don't want to do it in the game, right? It's going to take more time than it would otherwise. Also, Noxtra, the question that you have, is it worth watching later, or is it only worth it if you join in the moment? It is always worth to watch later. These are always recorded for your viewing convenience. You can always practice along. I just have people in the class so that they can actually practice the things they need to do, because repetition is key when it comes to movement. If you're not moving all the time, you're not going to get good at movement. At least that's from my personal experience. And then the third pillar of rotations is going to be the efficiency of your rotation. So if it's not faster than just walking, then why would you do it, right? Now, most rotations are going to be much faster than walking are, so you don't have to worry about too much. But like, you can think of it in terms of like your box routing and stuff, right? Like if I were to run a box route right now, you know, I need to get up here, take these boxes, whatever, come over here, take these boxes, right? The faster you are at movement, the better you are gonna be at hitting boxes, right? Just in general, but you also have to know the routing. But if you're running this and the effort to like go gank over there, you want to be as efficient as you possibly can with both your stamina and just your time spent to actually get to the places you need to get to, right? So with that being said, we'll just go over some of these until the end of the class, just because these are always great to practice again. So we'll start with this one because it's relatively simple and uses some side hop stuff. So we're going to hop on the zip line here and then jump off roughly about here, and then hit some slide hops, and then we'll hit a wall jump to go up the stairs. So I'll show what it looks like. It's not going to be super simple. Don't worry if you can't hit it right away, right? Don't worry if you can't hit whatever. Just on your own pace, at your own speed, make it to blue lane, right? If you ride motorcycles, you may be familiar with this term. It's a favorite term of mine, but I like to say, or motorcyclists like to state, that you should ride your own ride, and it's pretty similar here. What they mean by that is that you should be doing what you can to the best of your ability. Don't like, obviously you want to be the best you can, but you're not trying to like hit wheelies all the time and like, you know, do crazy stupid shit on a motorcycle all the time when you're riding around, as even if other people are. If other people are doing it, you may feel peer pressure to do the same thing, but you need to focus on your own skill level and practice what you can do efficiently, right? And what you can do comfortably. Obviously you want to push your limits, but you don't want to kill yourself doing it, right? So riding your own ride is the best way to do so. So feel free to do this rotation the best you can. If just dashes are fine, like just dashes are all you can do, that's fine, right? The best thing to do is just to practice what it feels like to go from one place of the map to the other place of the map faster than you would have done if you just took the zip line from one place to the other, right? I know routes are pretty difficult, so don't feel bad if you don't get it right away. If you have any questions about routing, we can kind of go over them, I suppose. But we'll just kind of feel out what these routes feel like. It's always good to get more reps. You can never do routes more than required, more than necessary. I feel like they're always great to do. Like this is stuff you can do like just mindlessly, right? Like I will sit in a voice chat and just like do this stuff permanently and explore my C mode while I'm talking to people, right? Because I don't know, it's very cathartic to me. I enjoy this sort of stuff, but I guess you have to be kind of crazy to be really good at movement. So and after we get these reps here, we can go to the next part, I suppose. And then the next rotation here, we can go from green lane to blue. We can go back from blue to green. Or I guess it's yellow here. The map is messed up on this side. Yeah, but we can go from blue to yellow, right? So you zip dash again, wait roughly a second and a half before you jump off the zip line, just for the sake of being able to, like, you know, slide or be able to dash through the door down there. So I'll do it again. You want to hold your dash until you get a little closer so you can actually slide through it, right? Slide through the door easier. And then you just slide hop all the way. And now you can just go back and forth as you want. And learning all these rotations are super useful. If you want to learn more of these rotations, the rotation class is very, very useful for that. And also Leaf has some videos on it as well, which are also referenced. I will always reference any relevant Leaf videos, because not only do I think that Leaf has some of the best content, especially after you are able to understand what topics he's trying to explain, but he just shows a lot of like really good, useful stuff. I would very highly recommend that you kind of just binge watch some of his stuff if you're really into movement. But if you're not, then that's fine. Do you have any questions about this rotation? Because I know it's kind of complicated, so. Our Haze is compy, knows all the movement tech. Best Haze in A. Us. Cool. Okay, and then we'll do a blue to green side then. And then we'll wrap it out after that. Again, sorry we didn't go over anything new this time, but I felt it pertinent that we have a review session, because at least a lot of people that were typically attending, like they attended every other class, for some reason they just didn't show up for this one. But obviously it's also, I feel like it might be kind of nice to have this one just to round out the unit, you know, like unit 1 done, unit 2 is going to be like corner boosts and all the cooler stuff that everybody wants to do. But again, this stuff is like the foundational eat your green sort of situation. So oh yeah, I forgot. So we're gonna go from blue to green now. I like this rotation a lot. You can either go over this or this way. This way, pretty simple. Or I guess you can go this way too. We'll do this one just for the sake of simplicity. You just take the vent. Obviously, this one is the one you line up, do all the cool corner boots and stuff, but don't worry about hitting it. You just want to zip dash off the zip line on blue side, and then hit your zip dash, and then you can just double jump to get up. You take the air vent, and then slide into the wall, and you hit a little wall boost or wall jump, and you can just hit another jump. You don't have to hit the crazy corner boost back and forth, whatever. But this is what you can do to like prep yourself to actually learn the really cool stuff, right? You may notice that a lot of these texts will just kind of seamlessly flow together as you do these rotations more often. Again, all the rotations that you may want to learn are going to be on Leaf actually posted a video that I have referenced that posts like a bunch of rotations that are, what are they called? It's actually separated by skill level. So like the earlier in the video is easier stuff, later in the video is harder stuff, and it's literally a rotation for every single zip line on the map. So it's super useful. I'd recommend that you guys deep dive into that after the fact. So I'll do this blue rotation. I'll do a green rotation, then we'll go wrap up, I think, unless anybody has any questions. Okay. And then we'll do a green rotation back to blue. And these are just one rotation of many. Obviously, there's technically infinite ways to rotate from one place of the map to the next place of the map. But for this rotation, we'll do it this way, where you hop off this, you zip dash over the wall, hit the wall jump there if you can. You mantle slide, and you just take this vent, and now you're at blue. And I will just continually do it over and over for people who may not be able to hit it. And if you can hit it, then feel free to practice it. Should just be slide hopping there, honestly. Yeah, now I can just do this back and forth. And as a whole, it's like just one big loop, right? You can just do it over and over again. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's a good point. Um, that's another reason why that I like to say that movement is so like just personal, because every hero you play has a different play style in terms of like what rotations you're looking to hit. Um, so it really is just to feel it out and learn what you can, and then there's just a bunch of resources to actually learn more stuff. I'm just teaching the absolute basics on how to get from one place to the other. Um, you can get better at it at your own pace, right? That's the whole point. All right. Do we have any other questions apart from that? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, so that's called a wall boost. I actually had a class on that. The last class, last week's class was about IEDs and wall boosting. That's essentially what you're looking for is what a wall boost is. But very simply, you're just dashing into the wall by looking into it just slightly, and you get a bunch of speed. Um, that's the most simple way to put it. But if you want some further explanation, um, I'd recommend that you check out the class. Cool. Right, my computer might explode quickly here, so if you have any other questions, we'll open it up. If not, then we'll wrap it up. Mantle glide or mantle slide? There's different. Nope. Mental sliding, yes. Mental sliding, very important. If you don't know, I guess I'll throw on some extras since this was a kind of a review class rather than anything else. So for hanging in there for the newer guys, I'll teach some stuff. Whenever you mantle, I guess I'll do it on a better surface. Actually, this is probably a good way to do it. So like whenever you mantle, you're able to slide afterwards, right? Very, very simple. In a mantle, you just hold W and hold control and you will slide, right? Very, very simple. If you aren't doing this after every single mantle that you do, you should be doing this after every single mantle that you do. It gives you just free speed for no reason, pretty much. Yep. And something neat is that you can actually slide, like mantle slide, um, like 180 degrees, whatever direction you want. You just can't go backwards. So you can actually hold A instead and you'll slide, and you can hold D instead and you'll slide. But I just go forward. Forward is the most useful thing. You can also slide hop out of it, which is probably the most important thing, right? Being able to slide hop out of a mantle slide is baseline for learning how to not only generate a bunch of momentum for free, but also learn how to do a mantle glide, which is a little different. So this one's a little bit more technical, but we'll do it for the sake of fun. So on any of these banisters, and anything that's similarly like of a similar height, you can melee press spacebar and you can hold spacebar, right? You can hold spacebar the entire time. So just do a white light melee and hold spacebar, and then you just walk up into the little thing. You will mantle if you hold W, right? It gives you a free mantle. You can buffer it, and then you start to slide out of it, and then immediately, instead of sliding, you jump. You'll get a super glide. Very cool tech, gives you a lot of speed. Yeah. I don't know. It's been in the game for a while now. Yeah. But mantle glides are very, very useful. Yep. This is also a very fun thing to do. You can just go back and forth, like right here. And if you mantle glide correctly, you will make it every time. Just tap Q. Yep, there you go. Tap Q, hold spacebar. And this is not bucket dependent or anything. Every hero can do this. Actually, yes, every hero but like Rim. Rim has some funky shit. He can still do it, but he just has some odd interactions when he mantles. But there's also no, you can hold crouch the entire time. You just press spacebar right after you mantle. Yep. But very fun. And technically you can do it out of any mantle, but being able to do it off of this stuff is super useful and the most useful use case of it. Because like whenever you're like rotating urn and you're trying to go above and not down through mid boss, which is technically faster, you can still do a mantle glide out of this, right? If my game would refuse to not be like 2 frames per second. Yeah, I don't want to do it. But you can do it off of any sort of mantle. There you go. See? And it gives you enough speed to get a wall jump off that. So it's a really good way to generate a lot of speed. The downside is if you get meleeed during a mantle, you will not be able to slide. So you will not be able to do a mantle glide. Or super glide, sorry. A niche tech for you guys. And you can actually just mantle glide out of anything. But it's technically like a slide hop, kinda. But you can literally do it off of any sort of mantle you will be able to. Also do a little glide after the fact. All right. Well, I guess I'll leave you guys with a niche tech that you guys can practice. Make sure that you hop in Explore MIC always. I will never stop recommending that you learn movement in that mode because it is the most effective way to learn. It doesn't get laggy at the end of the game like how it is for me. And it's just, for me, it's mindless. You can just like run around and stuff, but obviously you guys may have to lock in just a little bit. But once you practice this stuff enough, it will become super, super easy and just like, it's just like second skin sort of stuff, bro. It's super cool once you get movement to be a comfortable part of your gameplay. Apart from that, I think I will stop the recording here. You guys, everybody, for attending as always.